Welcome to the Borowski Doodles podcast, the best podcast in all the land and in all the seven seas. Today we got the fucking crew, the classics, Big John, Fear. We're in the fucking building, and let's get right to it. Peer pressure. Have you been peer pressured in the past? Have you had a peer pressure you into doing something that you really didn't want to do, but then end up having a lot of fun and maybe you had to go to the hospital? Have that happened to you? Well, we're gonna talk about it today. Peer pressure is not only happening when you're a kid, not only happening when you're in high school, it also happens as an adult. You know, we got our boy Big John. He has to get some blood work done tomorrow, right? This is personal information. And this goes against the privacy laws in the United States. And
the HIPAA laws.
The HIPAA laws, right? And he's debating, right? He's like, look, check it out. Tomorrow is around what time? It's like 7 p.m. in Miami, right?
8 a.m. in Miami time. Oh, right now, 6:30 p.m.
Right, 6:30 p.m. And you got to do this blood work tomorrow at 8 in the morning. So you're debating not what movie you're going to watch tonight to go to sleep early and you know, get this, you know, blood work done. No.
I'm about peer pressure here.
Yeah. You're not like asking Kiko, hey, Kiko, by the way, what are the movies that we have to do next week just so that I can, you know, get updated on that, because, you know, I like to, if you know me, John, I like to do things ahead of time. If you know what I mean. No. Johncito is calling the crew, right, to know what's the planio so that he can go out, and he's trying to find out with us, like, hey, how many drinks can I have so that the blood work test still comes out good, right? Now, my opinion here, right, as an adult, like I'm almost 33 now, right? And this is just coming out off the cuff. I'm like, hey, maybe no liquor at all, since you have a test at 8 in the morning, you know. Maybe you stay home, give your body a little rest so that it could try to trick the system into telling it that everything's fine. So what do you guys think about this? Because this is a very interesting topic about peer pressure, right? Because at the end of the day, life is about enjoying it. Yolo, you only live once, right? What's the other one? Namaste? No. There's another one that's like
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata, you know, our boy from but at the same time, you gotta make good decisions so that your future can be better. So you're always caught in the middle of, do I have fun now and seize the day, or do I save a little bit for a rainy day? So what is it that you're debating in your head right now, John, having to do with tomorrow you have some blood work, but then you have Adrian here telling you, hey, bro, you only live once, if you know what I mean.
The question is, like, I'm really perturbed, and I really need to have an answer. I wish I could talk to my followers and the people that are watching this or listening to this, and ask them genuinely, like, at what time do I have to stop pounding Long Island iced teas to be able to, you know, like, not really come out as a degenerate on my blood work? You know, like, that was the question, really.
Yeah, the cutoff time. It's not a matter of, am I gonna drink? Am I not gonna drink? It's what. Yeah. What is the time?
Wasn't really. Yeah, that was a non-issue. Like, that was resolved.
Okay.
The resolution was the time, you know, like, do some mental math, some alcohol mathematics, you know, bring in some BAC levels and see how that goes.
To put a little context into this, if you were Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street, the situation will be, how many ludes, how many lemons, 714s can I take
without dying?
Right? Without this blood work showing that I'm not even physically alive. Is there an amount that will put me right on that line? Right on that line. I'm not going to cross it. You better know I ain't going to be crossing that line.
I'm going to be tiptoeing.
You know? So, and generally, the people listening, the Borowski Doodles out there in Belgium right now, the numbers are growing insane. It's like, it's not something people have never seen before. Belgium is having to cut off bandwidth to, like, government channels so that they could facilitate their direct connection to the broski doodles. That's how important shit is in Belgium.
Damn right. They're winning the World Cup this year, by the way.
Yeah, I'm with Belgium. They've never won it. I want them to win it. Because, Belgium never gets enough credit. They say that,
beautiful country.
When World War II started, Belgium was the country that Germany chose. And it was a little bit of like, yeah, let's go for them because fuck them, right? What are they going to do? And the Germans actually had quite a battle with they still fucked the Belgians up like there was no tomorrow. But it took a day or two longer than they would have thought it would, The Belgians didn't just come out there with beers and bend over. No, they went out there like, hey, what's goody? We're going to defend this because in 75 years, the broski doodles are going to be out there. And it's all going to be based on this bravery that the men showed then. So, but getting back to the point, the question here is not will John go out and drink? No. How many units can his body take without the blood work showing something grave? I say 0. You shouldn't have any. Now, the broski doodles, I want you guys to tell us and how you handle peer pressure in general. But what is the number that you guys think is the correct one?
Well, right now, time is of the essence. Because in the time that we're debating and looking up how much John can drink, he probably should be drinking now.
I already had a drink. Yeah. Thanks for that little tidbit.
Good. No. Good. Well, as you should.
Yeah, you're ahead of the game as usual.
So you want to start already, first of all.
I imagine it depends on how much you drink, right? It's how long it'll take. Okay. So we got to think of quantity and then
time. So it is my understanding that for every ounce of alcohol of hard liquor, 5 ounces of wine, 8 ounces of beer, it takes about an hour for it to be processed by your system and no longer show up on your BAC. Obviously.
So how does that even make sense? Like you would show if a cop gave a test, right?
Right. So if a cop gives you a test, actually, let me correct that. I think it's 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, and 1 ounce of hard liquor, where you would take it, and then an hour later, if a officer were to give you a blood alcohol test, it should show up as 0.00. It should no longer be in your system.
So that's what's a beer? How much is in a beer?
Like a soda can of Coca-Cola, that's 12 ounces.
All right, so like a normal beer. So you have one beer and you wait an hour, and then you have another beer and you wait an hour. Technically, you're at 0.
Technically, you drink a beer, you wait an hour, you should be at 0. Technically, theoretically, you wait another hour, you should be at 0 at the end of that hour. So,
okay, but I don't think this is the same when it comes to blood work. Like you might still not have the effects of the liquor, but the blood's still tainted.
Well, what does BAC stand for?
You're metabolizing it. It's blood alcohol
content
concentration.
The concentration. Imagínate.
I think that's the English.
If blood alcohol, you just said blood alcohol concentration is at 0.00 after an hour of drinking this said beer, then the blood's gonna be the same, right? Like the blood.
This is how I think about it. If you drank tonight, right, a bunch of liquor, and in the morning you feel like shit, it's hard for me to think, okay, I feel like shit, my body feels like shit, but my blood is clean.
That could be depletion of other like chemicals in your brain and stuff.
Yeah,
dehydration.
Dehydration. You ran out of electrolytes, or you're feeling shitty as a result of your body getting rid of this alcohol.
Okay, but blood-wise, you're good to go.
theoretically, we should do that test. Like get like shit face drunk, and then the next day,
What a
when you're
perfect time to
feeling
do it.
at the worst, do the blood alcohol and see how much alcohol is in your system still at that point in time.
Boy, and also take like blood out and do like analysis. And does it show?
También.
Does it show like, oh, you're about to die, or
So
does it
now-
show like, oh, you're good to go?
Now I actually think that I have to get drunk and go and do this blood test to see, like, for science.
For science, yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, this is something that even the Broski Doodles can be part of. Like, if you have a very important blood work coming up in your life, for work or for personal life, maybe get shit-faced the night before and let us know what the results were. Was your doctor, worried? Was he alarmed by the results? Let us know. I think this will be a good way for us to further our attempts into not only providing entertainment for the people that are hearing, but we're also always on that tangent of trying to provide valuable content and actually adding to your life in a meaningful way. So this is one of those things that we're trying to do. Like, let's do a little research. Let's see how it goes. We're not saying overdose. We're not saying inject double the dosage. You know what I'm saying? Just your normal party. What is like your average party vibe? Do that, then blood work in the morning.
That'd be
See how that goes.
The blood alcohol might not be like, it might be a non-factor. You might be at zero. However, your enzymes could be at a certain level. Your kidneys could be at a certain level. Your liver could be at a certain level. That's what gets hurt as a result of you doing the alcohol in that moment. Yeah, they could recover and feel better the next day or whatever whatsoever. But I think that's where the issue comes. Not so much in that, will it show that I drank last night? No, but it'll show that you have elevated levels of a certain enzyme or a certain vitamin or a certain mineral because of your alcohol consumption, or
which could throw off the tests,
the results. Right.
So what is
different way?
So what is your justification there? Oh, by the way, those came high, but I was just really fucked up that night. So
so like let's just not look at that.
So subtract that and imagine. I'd be like amazing.
I'd be like amazing. So yeah, if you really want to get accurate tests to make sure that you're fine normally, then do the blood work without doing anything. But
I think there's a discussion to be had that if you're usually drinking, then you're kind of cheating the test by sobering up the day before. Like, I want to know what I'm at in my constant state of life.
Yeah, this is true.
I'm drinking every week, so I need to know where my baseline is.
Like, if you always have a Corona, cold as fuck, in your hand with half a lime through it, right? And then you go do your blood work, healthy. Oh, I ate fucking, green peas this morning. Are you even doing a test, or are you cheating to yourself and to your medical professional? I mean, this is actually like a moral talk.
So there's an argument to be had that you should just like stay true to who you are at all times. No matter what test you have, no matter what important activity you have, important event, kid's birthday party you have to go to the next morning, you get hammered the night before.
If your substance of choice is baggies of cocaine mixed with Cavassier whiskey, then you might be, you might want to be on those substances when you go do the blood work, just so that it's consistent, not only with who you are as a person, but with your biology. Right?
Yeah, your body will be asking for it.
That gives me a lot to consider.
Okay. Well, we just wanted to make sure that we're providing the best information and that you were informed in a way that would allow you to make the best decision, not only for today, YOLO, of course, but for your future endeavors.
Yeah, nice.
I do want to remind you all that we are on a time crunch for John to get this alcohol in his body and out of his body. I'm going to go down type of alcohol beverages and the average time to metabolize them.
Okay.
I don't know what you're feeling today, John. You said Long Island's.
Let's try that. Let's see.
The only thing with the
Why
Long
not?
Island is the sugar content might be the one fucking you up for the
So
test.
yeah, you might be fine by the time you take the test, but your doctor may tell you have diabetes.
Right. Which is never a good thing.
So we can do shots. Let's say shots of gin.
It says small shot of liquor, 1 hour.
Okay.
Now small is subjective.
An ounce.
I mean, at the end of the day, John ain't small, so we could just average that to 2 shots an hour.
Okay. A pint of beer, 2 hours.
A pint. Okay, so we can do beer just to slow it down, so it's not that quick, and make it
Large
more
glass
enjoyable.
of wine.
Make it an experience.
Yeah, well, I think beer is the way to go, but we'll keep going here. Large glass of wine is 3 hours.
Wow.
Oh no, damn.
And if
that
you
wine
drink,
be taxing.
yeah, because I think beer is more watered down.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think beer is the way to go.
It's water.
So for people that are in the business of having blood work done in the morning after you get fucked up, beer is the best choice here. If you go with a light beer, it does make you look like a bitch, but it does help for this math that we're looking at specifically.
See, if you're trying to reach a balance between appeasing to your healthcare provider and to your friends, that's the way to go.
What about if I like the taste of beer, but I don't want to get fucked up? Should I then go with like Heineken 0.0%?
You could go with that if you don't mind getting bullied at 33.
I think you should just stay home.
Yeah, in that case, don't even get a gram.
Do it in the comfort of my own home.
Right.
Yeah, or not even waste it. Like not even try buying like 0%.
Don't give Heineken your money like that. Make them work for it. Make them at least like ferment some shit.
Like I've never understood the appeal of that. Like I like the taste of beer. I just don't want to get fucked up.
To get a little more, conceptual and intellectual with this, because like it's particular, right? Let's get a little bit like Russell Brand. You know what I mean? Isn't it peculiar? I found it a little weird back in the day when I used to fucking shoot up my veins with the best Mac in the business. No, but if we go deep with this, do you guys find it hard, especially living in Miami, the city of sin?
Yep.
Hard to fall within this balance of doing the pachanga, right? Because you wanna, you only live once, right? So you kind of,
Right.
and only then, and the good ones die young, So you have this constant pressure of doing the pachanga, not only by your friends, because you also want it, your body wants it. You want the pachangs. But then you also want to do the decisions that allow you to have a better future. How do we balance that so that we get the best of both worlds?
I think
Can we ever balance it?
Drugs that make us the most productive. Going to cocaine.
I think cocaine could be counterproductive in the heart functioning part of your body. But one drug, this wasn't even where I was going, but one drug that I tasted, I don't know if tasted, that I tried, that made me feel scared that I could be hooked on this shit, was Adderall. I had some friends come over and visit me in Madrid from Miami. And one of those friends had Adderall, like, prescribed to him, right? Like, as a kid. He was one of these ADHD fucks. And I'm like, dude, what is this drug, right? And he's like, oh, this just makes you concentrate, bro. And he's like, all right. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So he left me one pill. And what I did is I cut it in half. And I took one each day, like, consecutively. And then I went to work on it. And bro, I remember I was working this office job that was shitty as fuck, annoying and boring. And those 2 days, bro, I never felt more passionate about like my job. I was just like, oh my God, like let me order all these things. Let me get the files ready. I'm like, it wasn't even like a drug. What's the word? Like to have fun.
Euphoric.
Like, it was euphoric, but in a funny way, bro. I felt like Bradley Cooper in that movie Limitless. I was like, I'm so glad I cannot get this drug because I'm like I would have just taken it every day since then. Like it just made things that I'd never liked tolerable, and like actually it made you productive. That's insane. Like that's the craziest drug that you can have. You being productive, you're like, what the fuck? And I'm enjoying this. What is this? Later on, I researched a little bit more into what Adderall is, because all the kids are taking it, right? I mean, it's common these days. It's methamphetamine, okay, guys? This is pure speed, okay? You're giving your kids here. This is hard, cold methamphetamines. And I fucking loved it. So
now I see what's happening in Middle America, you know, with this whole meth epidemic.
So you know how like in Middle America you have crazy meth heads like have their house explode because they were creating meth with like battery acid and then they stay awake for a week and do crazy insane shit. Well, that is the same shit, you know, active ingredient than the one they're giving, you know, Tommy, the 13-year-old who can't sit still.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a movie, there's a documentary on Netflix. It's called, I think, Pilled or some shit like that talks about this. This is an epidemic that nobody really talks about. And you guys, I mean, you have kids. This conversation has gone a whole different way. But you have kids, Adrian. And I don't know if people got it confused that, like, if your kid cannot sit still and concentrate on one, oh, he has this issue now. It's like, isn't that just kids? Like, isn't that part of being a kid? Like, you just a never stopping machine of just like my friends that have kids. When I see, I'm like, why doesn't this shit like just shut off? Like
that doesn't. Yeah, they don't. They keep on going, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, how many parents have kids that actually need that medication, and how many are just like, hey, you know what? I can't stand this kid. I've never had a kid. I don't remember myself being this way, and I need to medicate them because I can't take care of it like this. Well, that should fall on a psychologist, psychiatrist, and a doctor too. But then again, there's money involved, so they probably get kickbacks for prescribing these things. So it's very ugly.
Yeah, it is ugly. And the thing is, this affects your serotonin. Thing is, bro, there's this like phrase that I love in economics, which is it says there's no such thing as free lunch. Right?
No such thing as a free lunch. Yeah.
So and that applies to economics, and I think that also applies to biology. Meaning, if you take a bunch of drugs to make you feel happier, and this is the actual truth, you burn your serotonins. I'm talking about it like you burn your serotonins. I think it's your serotonin level, but all the little serotonins inside of you.
You're lighting a match and throwing it in there.
Imagine you had a bunch of little serotonins, and then you kill them all. So then when you're like out there like doing achievements in life that should bring you serotonin to reaffirm that these are the things, you know, to do in life, like when you achieve a goal, when you are responsible, when you won't have the serotonins anymore because you killed them motherfuckers.
Where are all them serotonins at?
I'll search. Where's serotonin? And then also, it's like with this meth, it's, you know, Adderall or ritalin, as it's also called, makes you productive, right? It makes you. It's almost like a cheat way of feeling good about doing something that's naturally boring and that takes discipline. And it's sort of like in your brain knows this, so because of it, you're being fucked on another way. Like yeah, you get this now, but there's consequences later. These kids later become depressed because they don't have the serotonins anymore there. And it's crazy. It's almost like whatever you do in life will come back to you. Except
do you think that
marijuana.
after
I've
a
heard.
certain-
I hear that that's good. Whatever you do, any amount.
We'd have to look that up to see if after a certain amount of time you can rebuild them serotonins and they come back.
Did you did you feel any negative side effects? But like you felt good, but like after you came off of it, did you feel anything strange?
No, I felt perfect, and that was a scary thing. It was just amazing. It was just insane. Like how I do think, you know how people have their spirit animal.
Mm-hmm.
I think people have their spirit drug, right? Like different drugs click with people differently. There's people that like smoke a joint, you know, back in the day, and then they will go insane. And they're like, bro, I have to move. My mom is gonna put me on a Christian camp. Like I saw shit, you know. Obviously, that guy didn't click with that, you know. He's more into the Long Island teas. That's cool. I feel like like my body composition when he because I'm a person that is very ambitious in theory, written, right? But I'm very lazy, right? I have the vision, and I have the plans, I have the blueprints. I'm like, hey, look at this, but I ain't gonna do any of it. You know, I'm just gonna do a little bit of at the beginning. I'm gonna do a little bit at the beginning, and then halfway, I'm just gonna be like,
hey, fuck this. Let's smoke a joint.
So this thing fixes that missing part of me.
KIKO, sounds like you should probably be on it for some time.
I think I'm gonna start one of those research things that we're doing in the Broski Doodles lately. But I'm just gonna get it in the powder concentrated form
And snort it.
and just pound this shit.
Just make sure you don't do it before a blood test.
Yeah. But we'll leave the ritalin talk for another day. But
I also had an experience with Ritalin and with Adderall. I'll say like about 10 years back. I can't say that it made me happy, but it did make me overly productive and overly like really hyper focused on whatever I was doing.
yes,
like so in tune with whatever you're doing that you don't even like think about anything else but that in that moment. Like tunnel vision.
Like to me that's happiness.
To you, that's happiness. To be able to
And
focus on one thing.
Yeah, because your mind's not scattered thinking about a bunch of stuff. You're like in the moment kind of thing.
Yeah, like there's very few things that allow me to achieve that, right? Like when I play guitar, I can achieve that. Like not even making music. Like making music is a pain for me because
Wow.
I get off quickly from the inspiration train. It's very annoying. If I'm playing guitar just freely, not even trying to, like if I don't put the pressure of trying to compose, like I'm just, you know, improvising, then I can go into like that muse. But then what's the point of going into the fucking muse if like I can't like really use this, right? Because if I try to use it, then my mind gets worried. I'm like, oh fuck now.
Fucking up.
But if I'm playing Warcraft 3, certain video games, because Warcraft 3, you have so many functions to do every second that my brain gets like the whole RAM memory gets taken. But with anything else, like bro, we have to watch a lot of movies because our job entails that, right? We review movies professionally. We're one of the standards when it comes to reviews in movies and documentaries. And we sometimes have to go through very boring movies. And even the good ones, you kind of have to hold off, not using your phone and all this, because our attention span is shit. So...
Well, sometimes it gets difficult to take notes while watching a movie because sometimes I do get lost in and then like, shit, I didn't write anything down for the last 30 minutes and I had so many things going on. A lot of times I catch myself going back 30 minutes to rewatch it and then write down all stuff or pausing it.
Well, yeah, for people watching this, doing the reviews is a job. You know what I mean? Like, we take it seriously in this bitch. You can't even enjoy the movie like on your own. Because you're analyzing it too for the broski doodles.
And just to take an example, look how scattered like we are in conversation. Look how many times we've changed like the subject in the span of like I mean, obviously we're talking about whatever we want, but like it's jumped so frequently that maybe we should all be on ritalin. Like,
yeah. Well, if we have any listeners out there that are in the medical field, what are the steps that we can take to be able to get, decent amounts of this? I don't know, 2 pills a day, whatever it takes.
Wait. Before we get all that, we need to be diagnosed. We need to see a doctor, a professional.
Right.
I think we just show them this episode, and then they'll be like, all right, we'll start you on 4 pills a day.
Okay. Let's get this guy's the liquid version.
And I'm going to be watching every episode.
And inject it in their eyes. It's like, KIKO. Yeah, no. Great. The medication seems to be really working for you. We're a bit worried. Is it true you're putting out 14 episodes a week? We just want to know, because it seems that it's just rambling forever. Like you just keep talking, but not really say anything. And
us over here at YouTube, we're just starting to run out of space because of how many episodes you're putting.
Plus, none of the episodes seem to have any value. It's almost like you're talking about the same thing over and over. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, I gotta do another one.
I'm gonna make an episode on this.
You're just writing part 1 and part 2 and part 3, and they use like different parts, and it's the same episode.
Everything you do in your day is like an episode. And they're trying to tell you, like, this isn't content. Like this is people, like, this is the type of shit, like, you just do a story on your Instagram. Like, have you heard of these TikToks and shit? You're like, no, man, I gotta put out more episodes.
Like you leave it on live, you go to sleep, and it stays lit. You wake up, and then you start rambling in the middle of the night, and then you go back to sleep.
John, it's peculiar that you say, you use as an example this episode where we're rambling, topic to topic, and are we really saying anything? We're just jumping, we can't even concentrate. And I find it peculiar that you say that, because really it's all related, John. When we started this conversation today, we're talking about that line between keeping your life interesting on a day by day and enjoying the day, seizing the moment, YOLOing, if you will. That's how the kids say these days. But also doing the right things so that you can place yourself in a better position in the near future, right?
Right.
Ritalin or Adderal or street name speed or meth does this because it allows you to be productive so that you can save for a rainy day, but it also lets you enjoy that moment that you are actually doing this production, right? So yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk to our medical professionals right away, because I think the broski doodles need to be put on a moderated and monitored, of course.
I think what KIKO's saying here is that he condones microdosing because you get the benefits both ways.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of. We're thinking here only on the methamphetamine field, but maybe on the psychedelics with microdosing, we might be missing there a whole market.
Well, you can microdose off speed, right?
Yeah,
it's like a blanket term for anything.
I mean, it's better if you do a strong one. If you really
well, just like focus a little bit, but you don't want to get too hooked.
Yeah, not too focused, right? Like, you don't want to fucking work 8 hours a day and shit.
Right.
Right.
But you go from 1 to like 5.
Yeah. No. I mean, it is, I guess, microdose. You got to do a little bit of it, but Oh, in any case, well, guys, let us know what are your ideas when it comes to being productive, and how do you balance that, very thin line of enjoying life, seizing the moment, but also, doing the right things to prepare yourself for a better future. Any last words from the Broski Doodles?
Yeah, John, you have 5 hours to drink 4 pints of beer to be able to be good by your test.
Okay, and that's the number. That's the magical number we're looking for.
Gives you 8 hours.
Okay, 4 pints. That's 2 liters of beer. Broski Doodles, thank you for tuning in. Rate us on Spotify, YouTube. Leave a comment, subscribe, show it to your grandma. We're very big in the third age, the seniors. The seniors.
Wow.
In Belgium.
In Belgium, because they live a lot in Belgium. They have a good quality of life. So we got like people that are like 97 years old listening to the Broski Doodles, which makes me feel proud because that is our target market. So
maybe not by choice. Maybe they don't even know what they're listening to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's just white noise to keep them conscious.
Just rambling that they hear and put them to sleep.
They need to have
appreciate the
constant
views.
rambling that has no coherent or adhesive editorial value. But well, in any case, we appreciate it. The government of Belgium is always generous to us in that sense. So we'll continue, to serve the senior community. I love you guys. Sorry, John.
Never been to Europe, but I would like to visit Europe, and the first country, it has to be Belgium.
We will record live.
No, we will record live from the residence. Yeah, we will. Where they keep the guys, the peeps.
We're gonna find a third age person home.
Third age. That's not a word, right? Third age. I mean, that's not.
In Spanish it is, but in English, I guess a senior living home.
Senior living home, yeah.
Adult daycare is what they call it sometimes.
Adult. Really, that's patronizing. But bring me my diapers. All right, guys, I love you.
Is there an adult night care? Sorry. Is there an adult night care? Like, what happens at night?
You got to pick up your baggage and take it home. We're close for the night. I mean, there's hospitals and hospices, but anyway.
Yeah, hospice is a different thing.
They're not dying. They're just.
We're all dying.
Yeah, aren't we all dying, John?
So should we all live in a hospice? Like, say that for next episode.
Yeah, I think, that's for a more darker one. But anyways, I'm gonna try to say goodbye. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Broski Doodles.
Could be some of our fans the last episode, so it could be a literal bye.